Hello all, I am Diksha Mulchandani. I am a PhD student at IIT Delhi. I'll be presenting my work on performance prediction for multi-application concurrency on GPUs. This is the outline of our talk. We'll first motivate our problem statement. Subsequently, we'll discuss the background and the related work. We then discuss the characterization of the workloads. We use the insights gathered from the characterization of the workloads to develop our approach. We then discuss the results and the conclusion. Recently, there has been an emergence of different kinds of IoT devices with camera enabled. This has led to an increased use of computer vision applications. Most of the computer vision workloads consist of linear algebra kernels, and these are known to work well on GPUs. Given the limited compute capability of IoT devices, most of these applications are offloaded to the cloud servers. The general characteristic of these servers is that multiple applications are running concurrently. Consider a scenario where 16 instances of a computer vision application are supposed to run on a cloud server. We are given a choice of two platforms, Intel Skylake Multicores and NVIDIA Tesla T4 GPU. The conventional wisdom would suggest that these applications should run on the GPU. However, if we have a look at the speedup on both these platforms, we observe that multicores is the right platform for these applications. The problem is that to decide among both of these platforms on the basis of a speed up, we need to run the application on both these platforms at least once. So the problem is that we want to be able to predict the time it will take to execute a bag of multi-threaded tasks on a GPU given the properties of the programs and their CPU execution statistics. Next, we'll discuss the background and the related work. Let us first understand the meaning of multi-application concurrency in GPUs. In any platform, when multiple applications are running concurrently, this implies that the applications are spatially scheduled on the resources of the platform. The advantages of this approach are that it allows for concurrent execution and better resource utilization. However, the TLBs are shared and are limited in size. Thus, it leads to frequent TLB misses as the concurrency increases, which in turn leads to increased latency. It also leads to interference at the shared resources. MPS or multi-process service is the paradigm that enables multi-application concurrency on modern GPUs. In the figure on the left-hand side, we see that when MPS is disabled, the two processes having two different contexts are being scheduled in a time-sliced manner on the GPU. We obtain a temporally multiplexed schedule. In the figure on the right-hand side, when MPS is enabled, the context of the two processes are first merged, subsequently they are scheduled by the time slice scheduler to obtain a spatially multiplexed schedule. Another point to note regarding MPS in GPUs is that MPS has been for quite long in GPUs. In the figure on the left-hand side, we observe that for pre-Volta MPS, the two processes were allowed to share the same address space. This led to destructive interference and security issues. In the figure on the right-hand side, we observe that with Volta MPS, the two processes are given separate address spaces. This improved the security and provided full address space isolation. Let us now discuss the related work in this area. There are broadly three types of techniques that have been used to develop the performance models for the GPUs. First is the analytical models. In this, in this case, we take a detailed analytical model of the program and the architectural parameters of the GPUs to develop the performance model for GPUs. The disadvantage is that we need to have an expert knowledge of the architectural parameters of the GPUs. The second class of methods are the ML-based models. In these models, we take in the features of the applications and train the ML model using those features. Subsequently, the ML model can be used for the performance prediction for GPUs. The features can be either architecture dependent parameters such as the execution time, bandwidth, and memory size, or architecture independent parameters such as the instruction mix. The third class of techniques are the idiom-based models. Idioms are the patterns of computation and memory access in a program. These models take in the application signature and the machine performance to develop the performance model for GPUs. The application signature captures the operations and the data locality in the application, while machine performance captures the performance of fundamental operations on the machines. This is the summary of the related work. We observe that the models in the related work are based on one of the three classes that we discussed. The features that they use are either CPU parameters or GPU parameters, and they predict the execution time and performance. Now the question is, can these models predict the performance of a bag of tasks on GPUs? The answer is not accurately because they do not capture contention in any form. The features that are being used are the basic CPU execution statistics or the GPU architectural parameters. And we know that the main cause of performance degradation in a multi-application concurrency scenario is the contention at the shared resources. We follow this approach for our implementation. We take in CPU execution and GPU single application execution as the input. We develop a feature vector that captures the contention. We'll discuss the feature vectors later. We train the ML model using these feature vectors. Subsequently, this ML model is used to predict GPU multi-application performance. We are able to achieve 91% accuracy using our model. Now let us discuss the characterization of these workloads. Let us have a look at the experimental setup. We use Intel Skylake multi-core CPU that has 24 physical cores and they are HT enabled. We have NVIDIA Tesla T4 GPU. We use the following benchmarks for our experimentation. The benchmarks are primarily image processing and computer vision based. These are mainly inspired from MEV Bench Vision Benchmark Suite. Let us now discuss the characterization. First, let us understand the meaning of legends. One instance implies that a single instance of an application is running. Two instances imply that two instances of the same application are running concurrently. This is also called a homogeneous bag. The figure on the left hand side shows the execution on a GPU. On the y-axis, we plot the GPU performance normalized to single instance. The figure on the right hand side shows the execution on a multi-core CPU. The y-axis shows the CPU performance normalized to single instance. We observe that multi-application performance on a GPU is not directly correlated with multi-application performance on a CPU. For example, have a look at OBJREC, also called object recognition. We observe that as the number of instances increase, the performance on a GPU decreases, while the performance on a multi-core CPU is non-deterministic. Thus, the CPU performance cannot be single-handedly used to predict the performance on a GPU. In this figure, we show the GPU performance on the y-axis and the x-axis contains all the benchmarks. We observe that GPU performance trends across the benchmarks in a multi-application scenario remains roughly the same as that of a single instance scenario. Let us observe the red bars and the dark blue bars, and we observe that the trend followed by the red bars across the benchmark is same as the trend followed by the blue bars across the benchmarks. In this figure, we plot GPU by CPU performance on the y-axis. We observe that the CPU performs better than a GPU for multi-application scenario. For example, have a look at Hog benchmark. We observe that as the number of instances increase, the GPU by CPU performance decreases. This is despite the superior compute capabilities of a GPU. This is mainly because of the contention at the shared resources. Now let us discuss our approach. This is the basic implementation that we follow. We first identify the features that should be used. Subsequently, we create the data points and collect the training data. We then choose an ML model and train it. We validate the ML model. There is no standard methodology to define the features. We first start with the existing features that have been explored in the related work. The related work mostly relies on the instruction mix and the CPU execution time. The instruction mix are the architecture independent features that can be collected directly from the program using some kind of binary instrumentation. We define fairness as one of the features. This is because fairness is able to quantify the slowdown in an environment with resource contention. That was our insight number 3. Fairness for a bag of task tau is defined as the ratio of minimum slowdown to maximum slowdown. Slowdown for an application running in a bag is defined as the IPC of the application when running in a bag to the IPC of the application when it is running alone with full resources. Ideally, the fairness should be 1 for a system that is completely fair. Another feature that we introduce is the GPU time. It is the execution time of a single instance of a workload on a GPU. This is based on our insight 2, where we state that the trends for multi-instance execution on a GPU are similar to that of a single instance execution on the GPU. Overall, these are the features that we use. The features in red are the newly introduced features, while the other features are already existing in the related work. Let us now discuss the creation of data points. One data point is equal to one multi-application concurrency experiment. We increase the data points by modifying the inputs to the application. This is the standard approach followed by many recent works. This is mainly needed because the number of benchmarks are low. And if we just run the basic configuration of these benchmarks, we will have very less data points, which can lead to overfitting of the ML model. We consider all the permutations of all the benchmarks for both homogeneous and heterogeneous bag of tasks. We have a total of 91 data points. Now let us understand the methodology for collecting the features. We used Pin, Mika, and Perf tools for feature collection. The CPU time and GPU time features are scaled using a variant of min-max scaling, for which the equation is shown on the left hand side. Here xi is the CPU time feature for the ith data point. It is scaled by the difference of the maximum value of the CPU time feature across all the data points and the minimum value of the CPU time feature across all the data points. For the instruction mix, the features are captured in percentage and they are already bounded, so the scaling was not done for them. Similar is the case for fairness, which is bounded. This is our predictor model where we take an ML model, we collect the features from the CPU execution statistics and the GPU single application execution, we develop a feature vector, train the ML model, and subsequently use this ML model for testing and get the GPU multi-application performance. Since we are predicting the exact performance value, this task is a regression task. We use a decision tree for the ML model. We do not use any complex machine learning models because the primary aim was to show that it is possible to predict the multi-application performance on a GPU and also to interpret the results. We use off-the-shelf cart learning algorithm to train the decision tree. Here, each node has a condition, a prediction, and a subset of data points associated with it. A node splits into its child nodes for a feature condition pair that minimizes the sum of mean squared error of all the data points. For the testing phase, each test data enters the root node. It passes through multiple decision nodes based on the conditions till it reaches the leaf node. The prediction given by the leaf node is the final prediction for the test data. Each decision node makes a decision based on only one feature. We use the decision tree for better interpretability of the features. This is the training and deployment of the ML model. We take in n data points, perform their CPU execution and GPU single application execution. We collect the features from the binary instrumentation of the program. We develop the feature vector. For each of these features, feature vector, we also collect the GPU multi-application performance. This data is used to train the ML model. After training, for the test data, we collect the CPU execution performance, GPU single application performance, and the binary instrumentation features to develop the feature vector for the test data. This is passed to the ML model to get the multi-application performance. We use leave one out cross validation for validating the model. The idea is to train on all the data points except one and use this data point for validation. We would want to ensure that the data point that is chosen for validation is not seen before by the model. In the figure shown on the left hand side, the y-axis shows the relative error and the x-axis shows the benchmarks that are left out in the LOCV. Since we have a bag of applications, thus if we want that a benchmark should not be seen by the model, we need to exclude all the data points that contain that benchmark. Thus, when we say the relative error for SIFT is 7%, we imply that when all the data points containing SIFT are used for validation and the others are used for training, we get 7% validation error. Overall, we obtain a 9% validation error. Let us now discuss the results. We compare our work with the most recent work that uses an ML predictor. It uses instruction mix as the features. We incrementally add features to the instruction mix to show how the relative error changes. We observe that with just the instruction mix, we obtain 144.6% error for predicting the multi-application performance on a GPU, while with the features that are introduced by us, we obtain 9% error. This is a total of 135.5% improvement. For measuring the relative error, we use the standard formula, that is the ratio of absolute difference of the true value and the predicted value to the true value. Let us skip the sensitivity analysis for this talk. Interested readers can have a look at the paper. In this slide, we plot the percentage of test data points on the y-axis. On the x-axis, we have all the features proposed by us. We analyze the decision path for the test data points. We find that GPU time is used by 100% of the test data points in decision making, while fairness is used by 65% of the test data points in decision making. As of now, we don't have an idea if a feature is being used multiple times in the decision making of a test data point. We plot a radar plot to get better idea of the importance of features. The circumference of this plot shows the different test data points. The radius of each concentric circle shows the number of times a feature is used in the prediction of a test data point. The blue line for all the data points shows the GPU time feature. We observe that GPU time is used 3 to 4 times in the decision making of the test data points. We also observe that fairness is used 2 to 3 times in the decision making of the test data points. Thus, both the features proposed by us are extremely important in predicting the multi-application performance on a GPU. Let us now discuss the conclusion. In this work, we proved that it is possible to predict the performance of a bag of tasks on a GPU. The traditionally used features are not accurate enough. We obtain a 144.6% error with instruction mix. We introduced two new features and established their importance in predicting the multi-application performance on a GPU. We demonstrated an accuracy of 91% by using a simple decision tree for prediction. Thank you for listening.